Welcome to today's market report. European stock markets are seen opening mixed on Wednesday, with investors looking to the world's central bankers for guidance as the coronavirus tightens its grip. DAX future contract in Germany traded 0.1% higher at 13,000. CAC dropped 0.1%, just below 5,000. FTSE 100 contract in the UK rose 0.3%, trading just below 6,000. The International Monetary Fund is due later today to publish its most detailed study of the pandemic's impact on public finances. The central point is expected to be that it's still too early for governments to worry about having to pay for rescue efforts and thus ease back on fiscal spending. European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde is set to speak later today at the virtual annual meetings of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group, and she is likely to press home that more is needed to combat this outbreak. The latest news surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic is hardly optimistic, with countries across Europe widening restrictions to try to regain a grip on the pandemic. Infections rose at the fastest pace since April in Germany. France reported a surge in patients needing intensive care, and news cases in Italy jumped to the highest level since March. At the same time, Eli Lilly placed its antibody test on hold due to potential safety concerns, just a day after Johnson & Johnson paused its COVID-19 vaccine trial because of a patient's unexplained illness. In corporate news, ASML, the semiconductor equipment maker, reported better than expected earnings for the third quarter earlier on Wednesday, saying it also sees double-digit growth in 2021. French cosmetic company L'Oreal is also likely to be in the spotlight after Le Figaro reported that it's set to name Deputy Chief Executive Officer Nicolas Hieronimus as its new chief, replacing long-term boss Jean-Paul Agon. Oil prices edged lower on Tuesday amid concerns of demand stagnating as rising coronavirus cases, particularly in Europe and in the US, causing growth to slacken. Crude future traded 0.6% lower at $39.97 a barrel. Brent contract fell 0.5% to $42.25 a barrel. Gold futures rose 0.2% to $1,898.55 per ounce. On the FX front, GBP/USD has failed at its corrective target at 130.70 and is extending Tuesday's sell-off. The cable trades just above the 129 mark, and according to Commerzbank, it is seeing further losses to 124.45 and eventually targets at 122.50. According to UOB, however, the pair risks a move lower to the 128.20 area in the next weeks. Reuters reported that European Union leaders will be meeting in Brussels on Thursday and Friday to discuss Brexit and will label progress in talks with Britain as still not sufficient to seal a new trade deal. A draft summit decision seen by Reuters mentions that the 27 national leaders will tell their negotiators to intensify talks with Britain to reach and implement an agreement from 1st of January 2021. They will also decide to step up a contingency preparations for an abrupt economic split without a deal to avoid tariffs or quotas. In contrast to the Brexit, the COVID-19 front is quite worrisome, as the UK reported the highest new cases since June on Tuesday, with 143 deaths and 70,234 new confirmed cases. This pushes the opposition Labour Party to call for the national lockdown of at least 2 weeks, but the previous day's downbeat employment numbers pushed the ruling Conservatives towards local lockdowns. Hence, Northern Ireland is set for new restrictions, while some parts of England are already under activity restrictions. GBP/USD traders will want BOE's Haldane to reiterate his latest positive comments ahead of the Johnson Lyons comments. with the euro off highs against the dollar continues to stay negative on the euro-dollar pair. OCBC commented that euro-dollar trades lifeless near 117.40 and strategists expect the 117 level to attract. In the second quarter, Eurozone GDP contracted 11.8%. We may not see double-digit declines this time around since governments are trying to avoid full lockdowns, but there is a very good chance of a contraction in the region in the fourth quarter. The impact on the euro could be significant, therefore. The dollar edged higher, holding on to recent gains following doubts about how quickly a COVID-19 vaccine will come to the market, prompting a more risk-averse trading environment. The dollar index was up at 93.567, retaining recent gains after hitting a 3-week low of 92.997. This is today's market news. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.